Hey, all right. Just a little bit of Janet. I get so lonely. You know how it is. You know how it is. If you haven't sang that song at least 50 times in your life, then you haven't lived yet. You haven't been suffering. Thank you, everyone. We have a little bit of a short practice tonight. We're gonna stop at about 7:45. Um, I had a little bit of a misunderstanding. We have this talk with I'm doing with Spring at 8. Um, so we're gonna do everything, all the things tonight. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and also put your prayer request in, so we're gonna get to that. Um, and just in a few minutes, I'm just gonna jump right in to just another short practice. Um, so welcome everyone. For those of you who are new, I'm Lama Rod. I use he/him pronouns. So good to have you here in the space. Thank you to everyone who came out on Saturday for our one day. I see some of you in the space. I'm so moved because so many of you, flew in for a day, and some of you drove really long hours to come. I just lived down the street, and it was already a burden for me to drive a minute and a half down the street to get there. I don't know if I have many teachers left in my life that I would just hop on a plane to go see anymore. But thank you all for coming. We had a good time. It was a really special time, and we're gonna keep doing stuff here um, locally in Atlanta moving forward. That was a really wonderful kickoff, I think, to our local community forming. So thank you all. Yeah, at 8, I'll be doing a talk with Spring. We're going to be talking about the Spirit Underground, Black Liberation, and spiritual abolition as well. So everyone can tune in to that as well. So yeah, we have a full moon coming up. Um, like late in the morning, so tonight and tomorrow, which I'm very much looking forward to. I don't know about you all. I need I need a full moon experience to happen, to kind of break up some of this energy right now for me. So we may focus a little bit on moon energy tonight in the practice. Um, yeah, and I will, because of this shifting of the schedule again today, um, I'm still not yet going to change the um, mantra, but just keep doing the mantra recitation as is, um, and then we'll change it. I will not be here next week, um, but I'll be back the week after next. Okay. Um, awesome. Let's see. What else is there to mention? I think that's it for me. Um, okay. Well, awesome. Let's get started. Let's move into some practice. Um, I feel like I'm feeling inspired by like Sailor Moon right now. I'm having like I want to call like moon energy into the practice and get my wand out. Oh, here's my wand. My wand right here that has bells on it. Here's my Sailor. If you don't know who Sailor Moon is, you're not gay. So anyway. um, yeah, some moon energy. And just moon energy, just really settling, stabilizing energy. Um, just inviting that energy into our bodies, into our minds, seeing that energy also as an expression of the consciousness of Medicine Buddha as well. Um, but in all the practices that we're doing, we're experiencing how, if we tune our minds into it, how the deity manifests as everything. You know, the consciousness of the deity is our consciousness, which is the same as the essence of all reality, of all phenomena. So the emptiness, the fluidity, this basic primordial energy, you know, which we call suchness or sometimes luminosity, right? So we've been, really the focus of our practice is often about tuning into, right, frequencies of energy, like, which is a very subtle, nuanced practice, but just tuning into those frequencies, which means that we're having to do a lot of opening, relaxing, settling, right? It's almost like, how the moon impacts the tides, gravity, right? And so, like that settling, it's like, I don't know, the ocean, how the ocean settles and the gentle movement and rising waves, like that kind of allowing, right? Because when we're talking about settling and relaxing the mind, it's not that we're trying to stop the activity of the mind, right? That's really not, that's secondary, like, kind of work, because our primary work is just allowing the mind to be. That's where, when we say relax, that's what we're talking about. We're letting go of reacting to the the busyness of the mind, the activity of the mind, just letting the mind be, just like watching waves rise and fall from the ocean. We can just watch thoughts and emotions and energies just move through the mind. And we can just allow it, right? And only when we get there, which I would say is the fruition of mindfulness or calm abiding or shamatha or shane, which is all just, the same language for allowing the mind to be. Like, once we get to that stage, then the the truth, the essence of phenomena begins to awaken. And of course, that's what we would call insight or vipassana practice, right? But if you keep getting distracted by the waves of the mind, then you'll never actually begin to tune in to the stillness and the depth of the ocean itself, the ocean of the mind, right? To begin to see the waves of thoughts and emotions as just expressions of the mind itself, right? That the wave is not separate from the ocean, right? Just as thoughts and emotions are not separate from the mind, they just are expressions of the mind. So we have to let go of reactivity, which is to say we're letting go of being distracted, right? And beginning to see that the rise and fall of thoughts and emotions are just the mind, right? And that's when the stillness begins to awaken. In that stillness, the nature of mind reveals itself. Again, this is all very subtle and nuanced work, right? So, beginning, right, um, by always, shifting our attention to our seats, to the weight of our bodies, and how the seat rises to hold us. So letting the sensation of the body and the seat become an anchor. And so shifting your attention down to the your sitting bones, really the tailbone, right? Just the bottom of the spine. Just noticing that kind of area down deep in the body. So the very bottom of the spine, the tailbone. Just resting your attention there for a moment. We're imagining now that at the very tip of our spine, the tailbone, that we are beginning to actually breathe in and out from the tailbone. So shifting our breath low into the body, down to the tip there. Just imagining breathing in and out of that location. And going a little further, imagining that as you exhale into the tailbone, as you inhale into the tailbone, imagining that you're inhaling also the energy of stability, groundedness, nurturing from the earth itself. So it's as if we're breathing up from the earth into the tailbone, inhaling that energy of stability, foundation, groundedness. We can imagine that slowly an orb of white light begins to awaken and appear at the tailbone. And this orb of light, which is probably the size of a pearl, is the essence of the earth energy, the earth consciousness, which again, stability, groundedness. And imagine that this pearl of light, this pearl of earth energy really begins to settle your body. It begins to really ground the body in a way that you haven't experienced today. When you're ready, imagine that we're inhaling one more time into the tailbone, into that pearl of light. And as we exhale, imagine that you're exhaling that pearl of light up through the body into the heart chakra. So as if the exhale is lifting this pearl of light into the heart chakra, into the center of the chest. and just resting with that pearl of light in the heart chakra just for a moment. And slowly now, begin to imagine that this pearl of light begins to radiate very strong light, waves of light throughout the body, as if it is actually the moon radiating its calming white light throughout the body. And our thoughts, our emotions, even sensations of our bodies begin to feel like the gentle rise and fall of waves in the ocean, as the full moon in our hearts radiates this light throughout our experience. As we move into our mantra, just imagining that the radiance from this light, the moon in our heart center, just allows our bodies and our minds just to begin to calm and to settle. Letting this energy really take care of us, tend to us. Letting it heal when it needs to heal right now. And moving into our mantra, Deyata, Om Bekinze, Maha Bekinze, Raja Sumungate Soha. Just moving into the mantra, just really just very easy, very slow, like easy, like Sunday morning, kind of slow. If indeed Sunday mornings are easy for you. When we begin, O Deyata Bekinze, Bekinze, Ma Bekinze, Raza Mungate Soha. Deyata Bekinze, Bekinze, Ma Bekinze, Raza Mungate Soha. Deyata Bekinze, Ma Bekinze, Raza Sumungate Soha. Deyata Bekinze, Bekinze, Ma Bekinze, Raza Sumungate Soha. Deyata Bekinze, Bekinze, Ma Bekinze, Raza Sumungate Soha. Deyata So we're turning our attention now to the prayer requests. And as always, calling the energy and the presence of all of our benefactors into the space. All the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Yaran, Dharma protectors, all beings of light, all angels, all benevolent deities of all the paths of spiritual liberation, all the guardians of the lands that we're living on, all of the elemental spirits, all of our benevolent ancestors. We call into this space and we pray to you to listen and to hold these prayers and to act on our behalf to bring about the fruition of our prayers. We begin by offering prayers for the land and Humboldt, and offering prayers for clarity, wisdom, compassion in my words and actions. Offering prayers for all who are healing from the trauma of abuse. Prayers for the earth. Prayers for beloved disability rights activists, Judy Human, as she moves into the spirit world. Prayers for my brother who is burdened with depression and suicidal ideation, that you find immediate support and healing. Prayers for my beloved A, that he experience support and healing for all that pains him. For my dear daughter R, that she feel empowered to learn to ride her bike around town despite her disability, and that she be brave enough to try with support. We're offering prayers that Elle gets all the love, support, and protection that they need and desire. We're offering prayers for all of the tender-hearted who are suffering under conditions that they are powerless against, especially those incarcerated, those who are children, and those in places of war. Continued prayers for my shift in vocation. Offering prayers for growth in my ability to trust divinity with the blind immediacy of a child. Prayers of gratitude for the Sangha, for my crone divas, and my growing Sangha with Rev's neighborhood. Prayers that all our benefactor circles have all they need. Prayers for Jeff and his family as they continue to mourn the loss of Anita. Prayers for La and their sister. May she have access to the healing we need. Prayers to move out of depression. Prayers for my son Avery. May he find his way towards stability as he struggles with his mental health. Prayers for my family while they are traveling abroad. May they be safe. Prayers for myself that I can find a job soon. Prayers for Rick, who just found out he has metastatics, metastatic, metast, I can't get it out of my mouth, metastatic brain cancer and may not live more than a few weeks. For his wife Sally and good friend Jeanette. For myself to get more rest, to learn how to rest and digest and recover. Way too tired. Prayers for Jamal's mother, who is going into surgery this week. Prayers for G, who is experiencing violence at home, navigating sobriety and longing to be free. Prayers for Aurora, who recently had another seizure. May she raise the money she needs for tea. Prayers for myself that I can make my way through these physical and emotional transitions and anxieties and depression. Prayers for my pet rabbit, Oriole, that he recovers from his sickness. Prayers for Oriole's bun wife, Liberty, as she cares for and struggles. Prayers for Ken as he says goodbye for now to his beloved mother. Prayers for Anne that her remaining days flow in peace. Prayers for Helen as she begins rehab following a massive stroke. May she feel beloved. May she feel loved. Prayers for Dr. Kapoor. And offering prayers also for those here on this land who are organizing and resisting the building of Cop City. And may all endeavors to intensify suffering and violence and power be disrupted and abolished. And may all systems of power and abuse be completely eradicated. May we all experience liberation as quickly as possible. And may all beings as quickly as possible have everything that they need and we need to experience the deepest well-being, happiness and joy, safety and health. May it all be so as quickly as possible. Turning back into our mantra just for a few minutes and just letting this gentle radiance and the heart chakra and the light and the moon energy just radiate out into the world, calming, pacifying everything that needs to be pacified and calmed and settled. May we become the agents of stability for the world. Yeah. sula teada begenze begenze maha begenze lala sumungande sua. So returning our attention back to our heart chakras and this radiant moon in our heart chakra. Imagining that this moon, this pearl of light, dissolves into white light, and that white light dissolves right into our heart chakras, offering a final blessing of peace and stability in our experience, and a final offering out into the phenomenal world, that all phenomena may come into the state of peace and groundedness. And so we're just going to shift our attention to Shantideva's prayer. And which will just be in the chat box. It's so good to see everyone here in the space as well. Okay. We'll just, take your time. I'm trying not to get distracted by the comments, but I have given a talk on Sailor Moon in the past before, so that's a talk that you don't want me to get back into. You're gonna have to put that on the list with the Matrix, because once I start, it just doesn't end. Because me and my theories, I think people do derive energy from the planets. But anyway, I'm not gonna start. So we're gonna just recite this 3 times, and then we're gonna transition. So we recite this 3 times, okay? May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. And finally, may I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space, and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. All right. Thank you all so much for your practice. Thank you all for joining tonight. So again, so good to see so many of you, and I hope to see some of you in person um, soon, some venue. Okay, so I'm going to transition over to the talk, and I hope to see you there. Okay, thank you all, everyone. See you soon.